Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's now quite old, has become very collectible, and is fairly difficult to find these days, especially in this mint unopened condition. We are looking at the 2006 release by the Sci-Fi Collector from their Torchwood series of action figures. And this particular figure we're looking at today is of the Weevil, which was an alien creature that appeared in the first series of Torchwood. Also actually made appearance in one of the episodes of Doctor Who. Now, Torchwood was a spin-off from Doctor Who, obviously, and Torchwood is actually an anagram of Doctor Who. And when they started to film Doctor Who, when it was all kept under wraps, they would have Torchwood wrote on the books and everything, so it would put all the reporters off the track that it was Doctor Who that was being filmed. So interesting little trivia question there. So they produced, I think there was 4 seasons of Torchwood, which got better and better as the seasons went through. So the very first season was shown on BBC 3 in 2006 to 2007. Done very well, so they moved it. The second season they moved to BBC 2, which was from January to April 2008, and they got even better, and they moved it to BBC 1 for season 3, which was shown between 2009 and 2011. I don't understand why it was over such a longer period, but anyway. And then the 4th season was a joint production with the US company Stars and was filmed in the US, and that was shown between July and September of 2011, and that really brought Torchwood to an end. It hasn't it didn't come back after that. That was the final series of Torchwood. However, I'm sure that they would the Stars would love to go back and remake another season of Torchwood. I don't think it'll happen, but yeah, there's always a possibility in their eyes. Anyway, this is the figure that we are looking at today, and it says First Wave Torchwood Poseable Action Figure, ages 5 and above, and it's highly detailed 5-inch figure. And it says Fully Detachable Collectible Display Plinth, and it is of the Weevil, and on the bottom left hand corner you've got a Sci-Fi Collector.co.uk. Okay, so that's the front of the card. Let's just spin the card around and see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around, and this is what we got on the back. So, again, in the top right-hand corner, you've got the www.scificollector.co.uk. You've got Torchwood, the logo, as it appears written on a wall. And it says First Wave available now. So you've got Torchwood Cardiff, you've got Captain Jack Harkness, and there's his SBN code, barcode of some kind, I'd imagine. Torchwood Cardiff, Gwen Cooper, and her SPNR code. Torchwood Cardiff, the Cyber Woman, aka Lisa Hallett, and SPNR code. And obviously the Cyberman is based on Cybermen, but she's only partly been turned cybernetic. Half of her body is still human. And then Torchwood Cardiff, you've got the Weevil, which is what this figure is, and you've got his SPNR code. And it says Second Wave coming soon, and you had the Blowfish, Yanto Jones, Toshiko Sato, and Captain John Hart. Barcode in the middle, it says collect them all, manufactured by Sci-Fi Collectors.co.uk, which is a division of Premier Plastic Company Limited. And it's the collector centres in Strand, London, WC1R ODE. You've got the Torchwood logo on the left-hand side. It says made in China, the BBC logo. 0 to 3 years, it said not suitable for under 3 years. You've got CE markings, recycle markings, and the warning at the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, that's the back of the card. Let's turn the figure back around to the front, and let's have a good look at the Weevil himself. Okay, so I've turned the card back around to the front, and I've zoomed right in on the Weevil. And I've got to say, it's a very, very good likeness. I do think the detailing on this figure is probably one of the best of the Torchwood series of figures. And I mean, if you look at the, let's just zoom out a little bit. If you look at the picture on the left-hand corner, of the actual face of the Weevil as he appeared in the TV show, and then you can see the face of the figure. I mean, it's pretty much identical. It's done so well. I mean, maybe they just can't get it wrong because it's an alien, and there's not a great deal that you could get wrong when sculpting that face. It's just incredible. I just think it's very, very good. It's probably, in my opinion, it's the best figure in this Torchwood series, because it's the sculpting is just absolutely spot on, 100%. Really does look the part, and it really does look as nasty on the figure as he does on the TV series. So yeah, absolutely great on that. And he's dressed in those overalls that he wore in the TV series, and his great big puffy hands and puffy fingers, and down to his boots, exactly as he wore in the TV series. Now, he is fully articulate. I think again, it's multiple points of articulation. So let's have a look. So we can see the articulation on the head. Now, the head will move from side to side and up and down. You've got the tops of the arms which move, and you've got the elbow which moves. I'm not sure about the hands because I can't see any I believe they probably do. If I can just look. I think the hands do move. Will move from side to side. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like they do. And then you've got the elbow and the top of the shoulder, again with articulation. So you've got the waist in the middle there. You can see the articulation of the waist going across there. And then you've got the tops of the legs, the knee joints. And it doesn't look like the feet will move. So we've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points of articulation on this figure, which is very, very good for a 5-inch figure. So, and let's just confirm that size. If we measure from the bottom of the display base to the top, remember he's bent over, so if you stood him up straight, he would be well, 6 inches from the bottom of the base. If we measure him from he is at exactly 5 inches in actual fact. If you take the base away and just measure your figures with him bent over as he is, he stands 5 inches. So if you straightened him up, it would probably go 5.5 inches, and the base there is 1/2 inch, and the base has the Torchwood T logo on. Let's just measure across, and we are looking at 6 centimeters across, and depth wise we are looking at 5 centimeters, which is going to be the same as the size of the display plinth. And like it says, the display plinth is completely removable. You can take him off and you can stand him away without that stand, or you can put that stand somewhere else, or you can leave him on it. It's entirely up to you. Disappointing thing with these though, there's no backdrop for you to display them in like you would get in some of the other figures, or the 12-inch figures always come with a lovely backdrop, but these particular figures, even though they're slightly bigger than the character options figures, they're not quite they don't quite have as much detailing, I don't think, but still excellent figure. This is the best one of the whole Torchwood range in my opinion. So how well did they do? Well, bear in mind that Torchwood was, how can I say it? It was probably an adult's version of Doctor Who, although Doctor Who appeals to a multi-age audience, but Torchwood was very adult in its themes and what it was investigating and so on. A lot more sexual references, a lot more shooting and violence in it, so it was geared, and it was after Watershed, so it was an adult television program. So obviously I'm sure a lot of kids still watched the TV series, as I'm sure their parents would have let them, but I don't think it would have inspired such a following of the figures as obviously Doctor Who did, because it was more of a family orientated television series. So consequently, I don't think they sold, well, don't get me wrong, they sold a lot of figures, but nowhere near as much as what the they would have done if they were doing if it was a child's or a family orientated television series, and they would have sold them in par with the character options figures. And that's just a little bit of something that's just cropped into my mind, is that it's surprisingly that character options didn't take up the option to produce these figures as they were doing all the Doctor Who ones. Yeah, a little bit of surprise on that note. So it was Sci-Fi Collector that instigated the making of these action figures. But there we are. So thanks to them, we've got the Torchwood figures. Otherwise, they would have never appeared. Anyway, I've digressed again. So yes, they've done quite well. Not as well as they could have done, but that's life. Let's move on now to 2024. So we're some 17 years on. Do they come up for sale very often on the platforms? Well, the Weevils you see fairly regularly on the platforms. You don't really see many of them sealed like this one in the packet. You do see quite a few loose figures on the platform, but not so many in this sealed pack. They do, don't get me wrong, they do occasionally come up, but not as many. More often than not, they're without the packaging and without the stand, so it's just a figure. Whereas we only offer these figures sealed in the packaging, complete and in mint condition. If they're loose, we don't sell them. So there we are. So yes, you can buy them on platforms if you want to. Again, if you buy them on platforms, be very careful. Make sure you read what you are buying, because platforms use stock images, and you could very easily find that you're getting a used item when you think you're buying a new item. So be very, very careful. Read the description when you click on the used link. Or alternatively, forget all that rigmarole. You can come to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles, where we have a colossal amount of these figures. Well, I say colossal amount. We have a large quantity of these figures. We did buy out some stock from a closed down comic and toy book shop, and they had a whole case of these figures just sitting on the shelf that had never even been opened, and they were part of the stock that we bought from the shop as it was closing. So all of those figures are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, or you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Torchwood items. And many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long-lost childhood memories. Well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful Weevil action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.